Hey there YouTube, today I have a build that is around $300 to $350. Before we begin, I want to begin by saying that this build is aimed at getting you started in PC gaming. If you want to upgrade in the future, I have left the door open for that with this build. I will have upgrade options at the end of the video, so stay tuned. Okay, for the processor I went with the AMD FX 6300. It's clocked at 3.5 GHz. The part has 6 cores and is a gaming beast. If you also want to do live streaming or video editing, the CPU is fantastic for the price at $99.99. For the RAM, I went with 4 GB of G.Skill Ripjaws X Series RAM. There's around 1866 MHz, which is just fine for modern games. And games from a few years ago, 4 GB of RAM is all you really need. You can also buy another stick of this RAM in a month if you need it, but you know, it's only 40 bucks. So just buy it in a month. For the motherboard, I went with the ASRock 960GM US U3S3. Weird name. It has 2 RAM slots, 2 USB 3.0 ports, and 2 6 gigabit per second SATA ports, with 4 other 3 gigabit per second SATA ports. Decent motherboard for the price of $53.99 on Newegg. For the power supply, I went with the EVGA 500 watt power supply. It is 80+ certified and it is only $39.99. However, there is a rebate on Newegg right now that brings the price down to $24.99. So if you want to do a rebate, there it is. For the hard drive, I went with the WD Blue 160GB. Why? Because most of you have an old desktop collecting dust in your house. You can always take a hard drive out of an old computer. The other reason I went with this cheap hard drive is because you can always add more storage if you need more. 160GB can hold a decent amount of games, believe it or not. For the graphics card, I went with the PowerColor Radeon R7 250. It has 1 GB of GDDR5 memory and is a great card for 720p or 1080p gaming. This card is literally a rebranded Radeon HD 7770. If you want to look up that card with any game you might be playing in the near future to get an idea of the performance you might have with it, then go ahead. On YouTube. It comes in at $79.99 on Newegg, but there is also a $20 mail-in rebate right now. I mention these rebates because most of you are going to look at the price, write out how much you're going to be paying at first, and then transition to the rebates if you need to do them. But when I built my computer, I had like 60 bucks in rebates, and I never did them because I was lazy, so it's there if you need it. Anyways, for the case, I went with the DIY PC MA01 PC case. It is everything you need and nothing you don't for only 25 bucks. There's a $5 rebate with this case, making it $20, but really it's 5 bucks. I mean, just if you want to do it, go ahead, but I wouldn't. This build totals about $366.42, but if you want to take advantage of those previously mentioned rebates, the build will come to about $321. Well, that's it. For future upgrades, please refer to this video again. You can add another stick of the same RAM to make it 8 GB of RAM. You can also add more storage. You can upgrade the graphics card all the way up to an R9 280X. As for the CPU upgrade, I don't think you will need one unless you plan on doing heavy video editing. In games, the FX 6300 will do just as good as the 8-core FX 8320 or 8350. This has been a $350 gaming PC guide, and with that, I say happy building.